Hello, we've got some busy days ahead and the landscape is changing on the patch here every day. This week we're going to look at harvesting pumpkins, cutting back strawberries and sowing green manures. I've also got some top tips for your autumn garden. So let's get started and take a look at the pumpkins. So now it's time to harvest the pumpkins and winter squashes. So as you can see, the plants have really started to die back now. So what we need to do is cut them off from the stems. So you need to cut it off with a fairly long stem. If it's too close to the crown, or if it comes away from the stem and there's no stem on it, the crown will start to rot. If that happens, you just need to use that one first. So what we're going to do is, using some secateurs, is just take this stem off and try and keep as long a stem as possible. As you can see, it's started to go orange from the sunlight where it's been exposed at the top, but we need to get the rest of it to go the same colour. So to do that, we just need to dry it and cure it. So what we'll do is we'll place this into the greenhouse, somewhere where it's warm, dry, and got air to circulate around it, and that will go a nice orange colour. And that's all you need to do. So I'm just going to get on with the rest, and then we'll move on to the next bit in the garden. Well, that's the last of the pumpkins harvested. So what's really important now is about putting nutrients back into the soil, and that's key to whatever size garden you have. We're going to take another look at this later on in the year, but for now we're going to start to sow some green manures. This is the first time I've done this, so let's take a look and see what we need to do. So now is the time to sow your green manures. There's many different types of them, but you need to check that the ones that you're getting now are suitable to be sown at this time of year, because many can be sown during the spring and the summer. So the two that I'm using are winter rye and an autumn and winter mix. Now this is the first time that I've sown green manures, so it's a bit of a test for me. What it tends to do is it will cover the ground, so it doesn't leave it bare, and it stops the ground being or losing its nutrients. It will then add goodness back into the soil in spring when it's dug back in. And all you need to do is, so this is the winter mix that I'm putting into this bed. So as you can see there's different types of seed. So all you need to do is just sprinkle it evenly across the bed. You can sow it into rows if you want to be more precise, but for me I just want to cover the bed as much as possible and give it the best opportunity to grow. So give that a really good sprinkling, and then all you need to do is rake that into the bed. All you really want is that seed to be in contact with the moist soil so that it has that germination chance. Now what you'll do with this is, in spring, before it starts to flower and get its seed heads, you'll cut the tops off, all the green, lay that bare on the top of the soil, let it wilt a little bit, and then it will be dug into the ground, and that will add all them nutrients back into the soil in spring. But we'll take you through that when we get to that point. So I've got a few beds left to do, so I'm going to get on with that. And why don't you give green manures a go this year? Now is the time to give some attention to your strawberries, so let's go and take a look at what to do. So autumn is a time that you need to give your strawberries some care. That means they need a trim and a feed. So all you need to do is, on your strawberry plants, cut them back. You can do it quite hard, but cut them back to about 5 centimetres above the crown of the plant. And all you're going to do is reinvigorate the plants to give you loads of new growth and give you a better crop next year. So as you can see, where I've started cutting them back, they're already growing back, and you'll normally see this growth in about 2 to 3 weeks from cutting them back. So once they've been trimmed, like this one, remove any dead foliage, so all the dying bits there, pull all of that out, and then apply a feed of general fertiliser such as fish blood and bone or chicken manure pellets, and that just adds the nutrients back into the soil. Now apart from giving it new growth, you are also removing any pests, diseases, and especially fungal diseases that strawberries are prone to. Remember that every 3 to 4 years you need to replace the strawberry plants because they will stop giving you as much fruit. So the ones on the top of this basket are going to be replaced this year. So the ones below, they'll be cut back, and the other strawberry plants I've got over there will be cut back as well. But these ones will get replaced with the ones that I took from the runners earlier on in the year. So when these go into the bed, I'll be cutting them back in the same way, and that will just give it that extra bit of growth. And that's all you need to do for your strawberries. So I'm just going to get on with this and finish this. Okay, so before we go today, we're just going to give you some top tips for your autumn garden. If you've got summer planted brassicas such as kales, sprouts and cabbage, and the leaves are starting to turn yellow, remove those yellowing leaves. Here's a few more. Clear beds of crops and weeds as soon as the crop is finished. Prepare new beds for autumn planting of garlic and onions, and lift your carrots before the frosts appear. Well, that's it for today. Make the most of the days that you can get into your garden. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more tips each week and jobs to do every Saturday. There's links at the end of this video for previous episodes, but we'll see you back in the garden next week.